Hey guys, welcome back to Ollie Talks Airsoft. Today we're going to be talking about hydration, and specifically we're going to be talking about the Source 1 litre hydration pouch and why I picked it over some of the other offerings. So we're going to go over the three components that you get with it, which are the tube, which connects into the bag, and then something to attach it onto your gear. So why pick Source rather than some of the other offerings out there? So I've used a Camelback, and I've also used a Mountain Warehouse, or like a normal hiking kind of hydration pack. But to be honest, I've had this one for maybe 3 or 4 years, and it's proved to be really, really good. It's, you know, it's kind of one of my essential items to take out on the field. One of the reasons that I like this so much is actually just to do with this bag and the opening. The fact that you can open it all the way up means that it is incredibly easy to clean. So I can get my hand right up in here, and it means that if you've ever had a hydration pouch and you've maybe accidentally left some water in it for a couple of weeks, it can go a bit slimy and a bit nasty. With this, even if you manage to do that, you can still go in here and clean it really effectively. And that's actually kept this as being my main hydration source for a few years now. So the previous ones that I had, they had sort of quite a large circle on the front, which you would, very easy for filling, but not quite as good for cleaning. And ultimately, my own laziness or lack of preparation meant that there were a couple of times that it got left out for a bit too long. It got a little bit disgusting and ultimately had to be binned. And it turned into being a waste of money. And yeah, my own fault. I get that. So, if you're good at cleaning and drying all of your kit once you get back from a skirmish, then maybe this isn't going to be such a problem. But if you're like me and, you get back from a skirmish and you're knackered and you just kind of throw everything into a pile, and that's where it may stay for like a day or two until you kind of get round to like putting everything back in its place. And yeah, I've done it with this a few times now, where I've left the water in. And I'm so confident now in this Source being good and being cleanable, that I've actually seen it and gone, I need to clean that. Oh, well, I can clean it. So it's not an emergency. It's not like I have to do that right away. It's an extra day is not really going to make a difference, because I know that I can get my hand right in here and clean all of this out properly, and it's not going to be disgusting. So the next part of it actually fell on the floor. So let me just grab that. There we go. So it's actually the cable. So the cable has a connection part which basically clips into your bag of water. Get a nice solid click, and it's really secure in there. So, and you can see it goes right down to the bottom of the bag, especially when the bag is expanded out. So just to confirm, this is a 1 litre bag. You can fit a bit more than a litre in here, but not much. It's not for going out on a mil sim or something like that. You want to think about having like 3 litres or something like that if you're going out for a much longer game. This is more for your skirmish games, because you can still need a drink. And sometimes you have rolling games, you might be out on the field for an hour, maybe 2. So it's important to have some hydration on you. The other thing that I really like, in combination with how easy it is to clean, is actually now to do with how you drink from the system. So you get a cap that goes on the end here. This cap is non-essential. If you don't want it, you can literally just cut it off or remove it. Can you untie it? Yeah, there's just a knot at the end. So you could just untie it if you didn't want this on here. But rather than a biting method, it actually just pulls out. You hear that click, and you can see it's gone out. And I can push it back in again. So you would normally do that with your teeth, and at that point you can then drink from this completely normally, push it back in, and once you've done that, it won't leak. Also, it's on a 360-degree swivel, and also it's it's detachable, and you can see there is a gasket on here so it doesn't leak. And I can confirm I don't tend to get wet with these. They're pretty good. They do what they're supposed to do, especially if you've got the cap on like that. It's not going to drip down your front or anything like that. But I really like the fact that, yeah, you don't have to bite it in order to drink, because actually sometimes, especially when you're out of breath, biting something and then trying to drink from it all at the same time, it can be a little bit awkward. Just being able to remove this, pull the cap out and just drink normally, yeah, it's really, really good. So that combined with the fact that it's so easy to clean, ultimately makes it my preferred. So let's talk about a couple of other things, and I managed to drop the pouch on the floor as well. So the way that this does up is once you've filled your bag with water, you would close this, and this part has basically a gap which goes over here, and push it across and it seals the bag, but you'll notice there is a big hole here. So this is what I tend to use to hang this bag inside of one of my other rigs. So I'll just quickly grab this. So this is a GMR mini map that I've got on the back here, and this basically has a loop at the top, and I use this piece of Velcro, which is double-sided, put it through that hole there and just attach it up here. That means that I'm using the source hydration in kind of whichever backpack I want. All you need is just a bit of double-sided Velcro. And ultimately, because it's only a litre of water that you're hanging from that double-sided Velcro, it's probably not going to detach. I've certainly done lots of running around, rolling around, and it's never detached. It's always been solid. But they do give you a very nice sauce, bit of advertising for them there, a sauce multi-can, or I think they do other black, tan, cozy, like Ranger Green, whatever you want. But it is actually a really nice pouch that they've given you. There is some padding in here, so I imagine if you've got something something cold, it is going to keep it cold. Not perfectly. I mean, it is just a bag to contain it, but it does do it very well. So if I put it in here, you'll notice there's actually a weird sort of extra flap here. That's so it's for basically routing your cables up and through. Once you put it all in, you've got two Velcro patches here which will seal down, and you would just have the cable coming out from here somewhere. Normally come from about there. So it kind of pokes out, and you would just run around your kit. It's up to people how they use this. It's got two molly straps on the back, and it's also got that. But maybe if you're going to hang it up somewhere, I don't know why you do that, but certainly not for our kind of application. But I guess it's there. If you thought it was going to snag on anything on your kit, chop it off. Just get rid of it. Maybe it'd have been nice if they had 4 molly straps, but there's a bit of weight saving there, and ultimately it's only for a litre, so it's not going to be like pulling down too hard on your gear. But it is nice that they give you a little bit of padding on the pouch, and actually it performs its function perfectly well. I just don't use it because I've got other kit, and the fact that I can integrate this and the cable in with the kit that I've already got means that for me, and certainly for years now, this has actually turned into a perfect solution. So there you go, guys. That's why I run Source rather than any of the other brands. And ultimately, I actually don't know if the market has changed, because ever since buying this, I've not had to go and buy any more. I've not ever been in the market to look for another one. So yeah, I guess it wasn't that cheap. I think it was about £40, but it was a bit more expensive than the Camelback. It was a bit more expensive than the Mountain Warehouse stuff that I'd had. But ultimately, those were a bit cheaper. So buy cheap, buy twice. With this Source, they've really thought about what they're doing. They've thought about ultimately the things that I never thought about when I was buying a water carrying device. I just thought, well, I need something that can carry water and that's got a tube so I can drink from it. I never really considered until having to bite into a tube and then try and drink at the same time. I didn't really enjoy that. And also not being able to clean the product properly. That was another real bugbear for me. So actually Source, they kind of hit it out the park with this. And so for the last few years, I've not bothered looking at hydration. So if things have changed, then great. But if you are looking for hydration, just they're the things that I would be looking for. Easy to clean, easy to drink from. So anyway, guys, hopefully you found this useful, interesting. If you have, leave a like. If you're new to the channel as well, welcome. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, especially if you are new. And yeah, I don't know, nothing else for you today. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video.